So, new initiate, before we begin, do you have any questions?
Yeah, what kind of music do you guys listen to?
Oh, we don't listen to music here. We believe that music is a gateway to sin.
And what about that guy?
Again, Brother Mel.
Put my hands up, play my song.
Hola! Welcome to my channel. I am the Guatemalan Cowboy, but you can call me Mel. Today I want to talk about expectations. Let's first talk about all the expectations people might have for those who are followers of Jesus. Just like with that opening skit, I feel like usually in movies and stuff, the big joke that people have on religious people are that they either used to be people who they thought were fun and then became super boring because you're no longer allowed to do anything fun as a disciple. Well, that's really not true. I'll say this, the definition of fun probably does differ from someone who is baptized versus someone who's not. But I'm not just talking about the activities themselves. I'm also talking about the idea of why they're going out to have fun in the first place. For example, in my opinion, I feel like non disciples usually go out to forget about all the bad things that happened to them that day, week, month, whatever. Whether it's something at work like a bad customer, your boss nagging at you, or if it's something more personal, whatever it is, they go out to have fun to forget about the bad things. Versus, as a follower of Jesus, I feel like I'm called to go out, have fun with other fellow disciples more consciously, not to forget about the bad things, but in spite of it. As if to say, yeah, this bad stuff happened, but this bad thing is nothing compared to the joy that the Lord gives me. But before I get too much on a tangent, let's move on to our next one. The next one I want to talk about is how people think that those of us who follow God are supposed to be judgmental. Those of us who are true followers of God know that we can't truly judge each other based off of our sins. A, that's up to God. B, we know that we all have our own sin that we either struggle with or that it's just going to take time to get rid of. And the Lord tells us even in the Bible. I can think of two examples off of my head. The first one is when Jesus actually stops a crowd from stoning a woman. And he says, "Those without sin, be the first to cast the stone." And no one does, because no one does not commit a sin, because no human being is perfect. And the second one says something similar, where it says, "Why do you look at the other person's speck in their eye when you have a plank in yours?" Which basically means, hey, before you go and try and judge someone or help someone with their sin, make sure you take care of your own, because how can a blind man lead a blind man? And honestly, I could probably go more on about it. I could probably even make their own video about this topic. So, with that said, I'll move on to the next one. The next one I want to talk about is other people's expectations. For example, how you look. One being your clothes, and the other, you could probably guess, is how you physically look. For clothing, I feel like it's pretty simple. Whatever you wear, if it's a graphic t shirt or whatever, if it has a sport team on it, certain anime, certain brand that you like, people are probably going to assume that you like that brand. And if you don't, you're probably just one of those people that wear it for fashion or whatever. Now, for physical look, I think we can agree that there are a bunch of stereotypes for different races, and I'll say these two things. A,
not all stereotypes are bad. Doesn't mean they're true though. And the second thing is that I know I have been blessed by God to say that I have not experienced too many other people putting stereotypes onto me or thinking badly of me because of my race. That said, the couple of times I have experienced someone putting a stereotype on me because I'm Hispanic is when they think I speak Spanish. And I don't really speak that much Spanish. Practically zero. And to be honest, I don't know which one is funnier when another Hispanic person comes up to me and their first language is Spanish. They come up to me expecting me to speak Spanish, and I have to either butcher saying "Lo siento, mi español es no bueno," which means "I'm sorry, my Spanish is bad," or if it's funnier when usually a white person comes up to me asking me if I speak Spanish, I tell them no, and there's that awkward little pause on their part of being like, "Oh no, what did I just do?" A funny example of this is that one of my previous jobs, I got back from my lunch break, and one of my female white coworkers was talking to this Hispanic couple who seemed to only speak Spanish. I walked past them to get to the office so I could clock back in to start my shift up again, and as I was walking by, she asked me if I spoke Spanish. Now I knew she didn't mean this in a bad way, but I thought it was funny. I told her no and proceeded to go into the office. To me, I thought this was hilarious, so I proceeded to go into the office, see one of our other coworkers go up to him and say, "Hey, Barbara just kind of asked me technically a racist question." Which I said jokingly and made sure he knew I wasn't serious, just to make sure that Barbara didn't get in trouble. He understood this and we had a good laugh. Barbara then walked into the office, seeing us laugh, asked what was happening. I told her what I said, and she immediately tried to take back what she said, explain what she meant by it, and I was just dying laughing, saying, "No, I understand. I'm just saying a white person asking a Hispanic guy if he speaks Spanish is, no matter what, technically kind of racist." And because I knew she meant no harm by it, she didn't mean anything bad by it, it just kills me. And it's a nice little story I have from that time at this workplace. With that said, I do feel like I should become more fluent in Spanish, and I have been doing Duolingo or something like that to learn more Spanish. But I do it more for myself, not because I feel like it's the expectation of others on me. Which is a perfect segue into the next topic of your own self expectations. One expectation I think we can all agree that we have is comparing ourselves to others that are either slightly older, younger than us, and kind of seeing where we think we should be in our life stage. Whether if that's career wise, your relationship status, I know for myself, I can look at others and think, wow, I feel like I should be further ahead in career stuff, or I should have been dating for the past few years by now to potentially be married in like the next two. But that's kind of the point of life, is that no one else is going to have the same exact experience that you're going to. Some might have similar ones, and it would be really nice if all of us could talk that have similar experiences. I mean, to me, a good way to put it is if you have a sibling, you guys can't really be compared. You guys have very similar upbringing, especially since you have the same parents, but you aren't the same people. Even if your parents tried to raise you the same exact way that they raised your older sibling, you are a different person. So you're going to have different likes, dislikes, and other characteristics that are unique to you. No one should be expecting you to magically become the person that they want you to be, especially yourself. This goes both for non followers of Jesus and follower of Jesus. Because one advice I'd give for anyone who just got baptized is don't expect yourself to magically become someone who's without sin. Any sin you're going to make in the future, God knows you're going to make it, and He's going to help you through those times and help you to become better, to not make those same sins again, or at the very least, as much as you do currently. And for my last example of expectation, is that I still don't know how to end one of these videos. But I hope you enjoyed watching. It'd be great if you hit that subscribe button, like, and comment. And I'll just end it by saying, adios, amigos. And I'll see you next time.